Welcome, wanderers of the dark and seekers of the unknown, to Whispers on the Asphalt, your go-to channel for spine-tingling tales and haunted histories. Here, we explore the eerie corners of the world where shadows stretch longer than they should and the hum of tires on pavement is often accompanied by whispers from beyond. Today, we embark on a chilling journey along some of the most haunted highways in the Pacific Northwest, a region renowned for its breathtaking landscapes, dense forests, and a rich tapestry of folklore that blurs the line between myth and reality. The Pacific Northwest, with its mist-shrouded mountains, winding coastal roads, and endless stretches of wilderness, has long been a breeding ground for ghostly legends and unexplained phenomena. These highways, carved through rugged terrain and steeped in history, are more than mere conduits for travel. They are corridors of mystery, where the past lingers like fog over a moonlit lake. From spectral hitchhikers to phantom vehicles, from cursed landmarks to blood-soaked stretches of asphalt, these roads hold secrets that defy explanation and challenge the boundaries of belief. In this two-part series, we will peel back the layers of the supernatural, revealing the haunting stories behind the region's most infamous routes. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, prepare to have your curiosity piqued and your courage tested as we delve into the unknown. So buckle up, keep your headlights on, and join us as we navigate the shadowy highways of the Pacific Northwest. Let the journey begin. The Unseen World, a glimpse beyond reality. Welcome, dear viewers and seekers of the unknown, to an extraordinary journey into the shadowy corners of our world, where reality blurs and the inexplicable comes alive. This is Real Paranormal Events Caught on Camera, Episode 1, a series dedicated to exploring the chilling moments when the veil between this realm and the next thins enough for us to catch a glimpse of what lies beyond. Whether you're here out of curiosity, skepticism, or a deep-seated fascination with the supernatural, prepare yourself for an experience that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the boundaries of existence. In this episode, we dive headfirst into real-life encounters captured on camera, moments so eerie, so unsettling, that they defy logical explanation. From ghostly apparitions caught in family photos to unexplainable phenomena recorded during paranormal investigations, these events are not fabrications of overactive imaginations but tangible evidence that something extraordinary exists just outside the edges of our perception. Each story has been meticulously researched, verified, and presented with supporting footage to ensure authenticity, because the truth, no matter how terrifying, is always more compelling than fiction. So dim the lights, grab your favorite blanket, you might need it, and settle in as we embark on a spine-tingling exploration of the paranormal. These are not mere tales whispered around campfires. These are documented occurrences, frozen in time by cameras that cannot lie. Are you ready to step into the darkness? Let's begin. The Phantom Bride of St. Augustine. Nestled in the historic streets of St. Augustine, Florida, lies a quaint bed and breakfast known simply as the Bridal Suite. This charming establishment, built in the late 1800s, was once the private residence of a wealthy merchant who spared no expense in crafting a home fit for royalty. Its crown jewel, a sprawling master bedroom adorned with ornate furnishings and floor-to-ceiling windows, earned its nickname after serving as the venue for countless weddings over the decades. Yet beneath its picturesque exterior lies a haunting legacy tied to one tragic bride whose love story ended in heartbreak and death. The tale begins in 1923, when Elizabeth Hawthorne, a young woman from a prominent local family, prepared to marry her childhood sweetheart, Charles Whitman. Their union was the talk of the town, celebrated as a testament to enduring love. On the eve of their wedding, Elizabeth donned her gown and stood before the mirror in the master bedroom, admiring the intricate lace work and delicate embroidery. According to legend, she whispered to herself, "This is the happiest day of my life." Tragically, those words would prove prophetic, but not in the way anyone expected. Hours later, news spread like wildfire through St. Augustine. Charles had been killed in a carriage accident while en route to the ceremony. Devastated and inconsolable, Elizabeth locked herself in the master bedroom, refusing to remove her wedding dress even as days turned into weeks. Her grief consumed her entirely, culminating in her untimely death under mysterious circumstances. Some say she succumbed to starvation, others claim she took her own life, unable to bear the weight of her sorrow. Whatever the truth, Elizabeth's spirit is said to have remained tethered to the room where her dreams of happiness were shattered. Fast forward nearly a century to 2015, when paranormal investigator Sarah Collins visited the bridal suite alongside her team. Armed with cameras, EMF detectors, and audio recording equipment, they hoped to uncover evidence of the ghostly bride rumored to haunt the property. What they captured remains one of the most compelling pieces of paranormal footage ever recorded. During their investigation, Sarah set up a stationary camera in the master bedroom, aiming it at the antique vanity where Elizabeth reportedly spent her final days. As the group conducted EVP sessions elsewhere in the house, the camera continued rolling silently. When reviewing the footage hours later, Sarah noticed something extraordinary. At approximately 3:47 a.m., a faint figure appeared in the reflection of the vanity mirror. Clad in a flowing white gown, the apparition adjusted its hair before turning slowly to face the camera. Though the image was partially obscured, the resemblance to descriptions of Elizabeth was uncanny. Even more startling were the accompanying audio recordings. Just moments before the apparition materialized, the team's digital recorder picked up a soft voice whispering, "He promised," followed by a mournful sigh. Later analysis revealed fluctuations in electromagnetic energy levels coinciding precisely with the appearance of the figure, lending credence to claims of supernatural activity. Since the release of this footage, the bridal suite has become a hotspot for paranormal enthusiasts eager to witness the phantom bride firsthand. Guests staying in the master bedroom frequently report strange occurrences: cold spots near the vanity, the scent of lavender perfume lingering in the air, and the sound of faint sobbing emanating from empty corners. One visitor even claimed to wake up in the middle of the night to find a translucent figure sitting at the foot of their bed, gazing longingly toward the window. Though skeptics argue the footage could be the result of clever editing or environmental factors, the consistency of eyewitness accounts spanning decades makes it difficult to dismiss outright. For many, the story of Elizabeth Hawthorne serves as a poignant reminder of love lost too soon, and perhaps a testament to the enduring power of emotion to transcend the boundaries of life and death. The Shadow Man of Black Rock Forest. Deep within the dense wilderness of Black Rock Forest in New York State lies a secluded cabin that has become infamous among paranormal investigators and thrill-seekers alike. Known locally as the Hollow Cabin, this rustic retreat was constructed in the early 20th century by a reclusive artist named Thomas Grayson, who sought solace amidst nature's tranquility. However, what began as a sanctuary for creativity soon devolved into a breeding ground for terror, thanks to the malevolent presence now referred to as the Shadow Man. Grayson's descent into madness is well documented in journals recovered after his disappearance in 1947. Descriptions of sleepless nights plagued by nightmares and visions of a towering, featureless silhouette lurking just beyond the edge of his lantern light dominate the entries. He writes of feeling an oppressive weight pressing down on him whenever he ventured too far into the forest, as though some unseen force disapproved of his presence. By the time search parties scoured the area following his vanishing, all that remained were cryptic sketches depicting the same ominous figure etched repeatedly across the walls of the cabin. Decades passed, and stories of Grayson's fate faded into local lore, until 2018. When amateur filmmaker Emily Carter decided to document her weekend getaway at the Hollow Cabin. Equipped with a high-definition video camera mounted on a tripod, Emily planned to capture the serene beauty of Black Rock Forest. Little did she know, her footage would instead immortalize one of the most harrowing paranormal encounters ever recorded. On the second night of her stay, Emily positioned the camera near the cabin's large picture window, framing the dark expanse of trees outside. She intended to film a time-lapse sequence of the moon rising above the horizon but left the device running overnight due to fatigue. It wasn't until she reviewed the footage the following morning that she realized she had inadvertently captured something far more sinister. At precisely 2:13 a.m., the screen flickered briefly before stabilizing. Moments later, a hulking shape emerged from the shadows of the forest, moving with deliberate slowness toward the cabin. Its form was indistinct yet unmistakably humanoid, standing at least 7 feet tall. As it drew closer, the lack of facial features became apparent, a smooth, black void where eyes, nose, and mouth should have been. Despite the absence of limbs, the entity seemed to glide effortlessly across the snow-covered ground, leaving no footprints behind. The most chilling aspect of the encounter occurred when the shadow man paused directly in front of the window, tilting its head as if studying the interior of the cabin. For several agonizing seconds, it remained motionless, radiating an aura of pure malice. Then, without warning, it lunged forward, colliding with the glass with such force that the entire frame shook violently. The camera cut out immediately afterward, presumably knocked over by the impact. Emily, awakened by the commotion, found the device lying on its side, still recording static. Shaken but determined to flee, she packed her belongings and left the cabin before sunrise, never looking back. Upon uploading the footage online, she sparked widespread debate within both paranormal circles and mainstream media. Skeptics pointed to potential explanations such as lens flares or wildlife misidentified in low lighting, yet none could account for the sheer scale and unnatural movement exhibited by the entity. Further investigation revealed additional anomalies associated with the shadow man. Thermal imaging conducted by subsequent teams detected significant temperature drops in areas corresponding to reported sightings, while electromagnetic field meters registered erratic spikes inconsistent with natural causes. Perhaps most disturbing were the EVP recordings obtained during nighttime vigils, capturing guttural growls and distorted voices issuing commands like, "Leave," and "Not yours." Today, the hollow cabin stands abandoned, its reputation as a haven for evil solidified by countless testimonies from those brave, or foolish, enough to venture inside. Reports describe feelings of being watched, sudden bursts of icy wind gusting through closed windows, and the persistent sensation of being followed whenever one ventures too close to the tree line. While some dismiss these claims as products of overactive imaginations, the undeniable evidence captured by Emily Carter continues to haunt viewers worldwide, challenging even the staunchest skeptics to reconsider what they believe possible. For those willing to confront the darkness head-on, Black Rock Forest offers an unparalleled opportunity to test the limits of human courage against forces beyond comprehension. But beware, the Shadow Man does not take kindly to intrusions upon his domain, and those who dare disturb his silence may find themselves forever marked by the encounter. The Vanishing Hitchhiker of Devil's Elbow Road. Stretching through the desolate hills of rural California, Devil's Elbow Road has earned its ominous moniker not only for its treacherous curves but also for the countless reports of paranormal activity along its winding path. Among the most enduring legends tied to this forsaken stretch of asphalt is that of the Vanishing Hitchhiker, a spectral figure whose appearances span generations, leaving witnesses shaken and searching for answers. The origins of the tale trace back to the early 1950s, when a young woman named Clara Thompson met a tragic end while attempting to hitchhike home after a late-night dance at a nearby community center. Stranded miles from town and clad in a pale blue dress, Clara accepted a ride from a passing motorist unaware of the danger lurking ahead. Moments later, the vehicle skidded off the rain-slicked road, plunging into a ravine below. Search parties combed the wreckage for survivors, but Clara's body was never recovered, fueling rumors that her restless spirit continued to wander the highways seeking salvation, or vengeance. For decades, travelers traversing Devil's Elbow Road have recounted eerily similar encounters with a hitchhiking woman matching Clara's description. Typically occurring during stormy nights or under heavy fog, these incidents involve drivers spotting a lone figure standing beside the road, waving frantically for assistance. Assuming her to be stranded, compassionate motorists pull over, only to discover their passenger vanishing without explanation moments later. One particularly chilling account dates back to 2010, when college student Alex Martinez captured the phenomenon on dashboard camera. Returning from a weekend trip with friends, Alex drove cautiously along Devil's Elbow Road, his headlights cutting through sheets of rain. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the gloom, a woman in a tattered blue dress, her face obscured by shadows. Slowing to a stop, Alex rolled down the passenger window, inviting her to climb aboard. Without uttering a word, she complied, settling silently into the seat beside him. Conversations throughout the short ride proved fruitless. The woman offered no response to Alex's attempts at small talk, staring fixedly ahead as though lost in thought. Concerned by her peculiar behavior, Alex glanced sideways just as they approached the intersection leading to town. To his astonishment, the seat beside him sat empty, despite having witnessed no movement or exit. Panic gripped him as he slammed on the brakes, scanning the surroundings for any sign of his mysterious passenger. Nothing stirred save the relentless patter of rain against the windshield. Reviewing the dashcam footage later confirmed Alex's recollection. The video clearly showed the woman entering the vehicle, her movements fluid yet devoid of sound. As they neared the intersection, however, her form dissolved gradually, pixel by pixel, until only empty space remained. Sharing the clip online ignited immediate interest, drawing comparisons to other documented cases of vanishing hitchhikers worldwide. Paranormal researchers investigating Devil's Elbow Road attribute much of the activity to residual energy imprinted upon the environment by traumatic events such as Clara's fatal accident. They hypothesize that certain conditions, such as weather patterns mimicking those present during the original tragedy, may trigger manifestations of these lingering impressions, creating temporal loops wherein past and present collide. Despite numerous efforts to debunk the myth, including staged recreations designed to replicate alleged sightings, none have succeeded in fully explaining away the myriad experiences reported by credible witnesses. Many locals refuse to travel Devil's Elbow Road alone after sunset, citing overwhelming sensations of dread coupled with inexplicable mechanical failures afflicting vehicles driven there at night. As technology advances, so too does our ability to document and analyze such phenomena. Yet, regardless of scientific scrutiny, the legend of the vanishing hitchhiker persists, serving as both cautionary tale and tantalizing mystery. For those daring enough to navigate Devil's Elbow Road under cover of darkness, remember, kindness extended to strangers can sometimes come at a cost far greater than anticipated. Should you find yourself compelled to offer aid, proceed with caution, for not all passengers reach their destinations safely. The cursed Polaroid of Willow Creek in the sleepy town of Willow Creek, nestled deep within the mist-shrouded forests of Northern California, lies a mystery that defies explanation, a cursed Polaroid photograph that has haunted its owners for over 3 decades. The story begins innocently enough, with a simple family vacation in 1987. The Johnsons, parents Margaret and Robert, teenage daughter Sarah, and young son Michael, set out to explore the scenic trails surrounding their rented cabin. Equipped with a vintage Polaroid camera, they aimed to capture memories of their idyllic getaway. Little did they know, one snapshot would unravel their lives forever. On the 3rd day of their trip, the family posed for a group photo near an ancient oak tree, its gnarled branches twisting skyward like skeletal fingers. Sarah held the camera aloft, snapping the picture with a cheerful grin. When the photo developed moments later, the initial delight quickly turned to unease. In the background, partially obscured by foliage, stood a gaunt figure clad in tattered robes. Its hollow eyes seemed to bore directly into the lens, freezing the smiles on the Johnsons' faces. Believing it to be a trick of light or shadow, they dismissed the anomaly and continued their hike, leaving the photograph tucked inside Margaret's purse. That night, strange occurrences began. Objects moved inexplicably around the cabin, doors slammed shut on their own, and faint whispers echoed through the halls. Michael, then only 6 years old, woke screaming multiple times, claiming a scary man stood at the foot of his bed. Margaret attributed these disturbances to overactive imaginations fueled by spooky stories told around the campfire, but doubts lingered. The next morning, she retrieved the Polaroid, hoping to examine it more closely in daylight. To her horror, the figure in the background had shifted position, now standing closer to the family. Its expression, previously neutral, twisted into a grotesque sneer. Panicked, the Johnsons fled Willow Creek prematurely, vowing never to return. Over the ensuing months, their lives unraveled. Robert suffered a string of professional setbacks, culminating in the loss of his job. Margaret battled recurring nightmares, waking drenched in sweat and convinced someone, or something, watched her from the shadows. Worst of all, Sarah grew increasingly withdrawn, speaking less and less until she barely communicated at all. Friends and relatives urged them to destroy the photograph, believing it carried some malevolent curse. Reluctantly, they complied, burning it in their backyard, but destruction proved futile. Days later, another copy of the Polaroid appeared mysteriously in their mailbox, pristine and untouched. This time, the robed figure loomed directly behind Sarah, its skeletal hand resting heavily on her shoulder. Terrified, the Johnsons sought help from paranormal investigators, who conducted thorough examinations of the image using advanced techniques. Analysis revealed no signs of tampering or manipulation, suggesting the figure existed independently of human intervention. Furthermore, infrared scans detected unusual heat signatures emanating from the photograph itself, raising questions about its true nature. Word of the cursed Polaroid spread rapidly, drawing attention from skeptics and believers alike. In 2001, a television crew attempted to recreate the incident, venturing into Willow Creek armed with modern equipment. During filming, they encountered inexplicable technical malfunctions, cameras shutting down spontaneously, audio recorders capturing garbled voices speaking in languages none recognized. Most shockingly, one cameraman snapped a casual shot of the same oak tree, only to discover the robed figure glaring menacingly from the frame upon development. Subsequent owners of the Polaroid experienced similarly grim fates. A collector named Harold Jenkins purchased it at auction in 2012, eager to add it to his extensive archive of occult artifacts. Within weeks, he reported hearing footsteps pacing outside his study late at night, accompanied by the stench of decay permeating the air. His health deteriorated rapidly, culminating in a fatal heart attack mere months after acquiring the item. Autopsy results showed no underlying conditions, leading some to speculate the stress induced by prolonged exposure to the Polaroid played a role in his demise. Today, the whereabouts of the cursed Polaroid remain uncertain. Rumors suggest it resides in a secure vault maintained by a secretive organization dedicated to studying supernatural phenomena. Others claim it vanished entirely, retreating back into the ether from whence it came. Regardless of its current status, the legacy of the Willow Creek photograph endures, serving as a chilling reminder of forces beyond human understanding. For those tempted to seek it out, tread carefully, for once glimpsed, the robed figure rarely releases its grip, ensuring those who cross its path share the Johnsons' fate, lives irrevocably altered, haunted by an unseen presence that refuses to fade. Patterns in the darkness, understanding the common threads of paranormal encounters as we sift through the chilling accounts of real paranormal events captured on camera. Distinct patterns emerge, weaving together seemingly disparate incidents into a cohesive tapestry of the supernatural. These shared elements transcend geographical boundaries, cultural differences, and individual circumstances, pointing toward universal truths about the nature of hauntings and the human psyche's response to them. By examining these commonalities, we gain not only insight into the mechanics of paranormal activity but also a deeper appreciation for why such phenomena captivate our collective imagination. One of the most striking similarities across these cases is the concept of unresolved trauma. Whether it's the tragic bride of St. Augustine, the shadow man of Black Rock Forest, or the cursed Polaroid of Willow Creek, each story revolves around individuals or entities tethered to this world by unfinished business. The emotional intensity of their experiences, be it grief, fear, or rage, creates a psychic imprint that lingers long after physical death. This idea aligns with popular theories in paranormal research suggesting that strong emotions can leave energetic residues capable of manifesting as apparitions or other anomalous phenomena. It's no coincidence that many reported hauntings occur in places where significant events transpired, reinforcing the notion that location plays a crucial role in anchoring spirits to the material plane. Another recurring theme is the interplay between light and darkness. Each of the documented encounters leverages dimly lit environments, or complete obscurity to heighten suspense and amplify fear. From the flickering candlelight illuminating the bridal suite to the pitch-black forest concealing the shadow man, reduced visibility serves as both a literal and metaphorical barrier, obscuring what lies just beyond perception. This manipulation of light taps into primal instincts, triggering fight-or-flight responses and making the unknown feel infinitely more menacing. Moreover, the use of mirrors, a prominent feature in the St. Augustine case, adds another layer of psychological complexity, as reflections distort reality and blur the line between self and other. Such visual tricks exploit vulnerabilities inherent in human cognition, creating moments of visceral terror that resonate deeply with audiences. Technology also emerges as a critical factor in documenting and validating these experiences. Dashcams, thermal imaging devices, and digital recorders provide tangible evidence that lends credibility to otherwise anecdotal claims. In the case of the vanishing hitchhiker, the dashboard camera footage transformed a fleeting roadside encounter into irrefutable proof of paranormal activity. Similarly, the cursed Polaroid demonstrates how analog media can serve as conduits for supernatural forces, preserving images imbued with malevolent intent. These technological advancements democratize access to the paranormal, enabling ordinary people to contribute to the growing body of evidence supporting the existence of the unexplained. Yet, they also underscore the limitations of our tools, reminding us that some mysteries resist quantification or categorization. Finally, the role of storytelling cannot be overstated. Each of these incidents gains potency through narrative structure, transforming raw data into compelling tales that engage and terrify. The chronological unfolding of events, punctuated by climactic revelations, mirrors traditional plotlines found in literature and film. This familiarity draws viewers in, allowing them to suspend disbelief and immerse themselves in the unfolding drama. Furthermore, the inclusion of personal testimonials, from Sarah Collins recounting her brush with the Phantom Bride to Alex Martinez describing his encounter with the hitchhiker, humanizes the supernatural, grounding abstract concepts in relatable emotions and experiences. Storytelling thus becomes a bridge connecting the mundane with the extraordinary, inviting us to explore realms beyond the reach of conventional science. By recognizing these patterns, we begin to see the bigger picture, that paranormal encounters are not isolated incidents but interconnected threads woven into the fabric of human experience. They reflect our deepest fears, desires, and curiosities, offering glimpses into the vast unknown that surrounds us. And while definitive answers may elude us, the pursuit itself enriches our understanding of the world and ourselves in ways that transcend mere explanation. The enduring allure of the unexplained. Why do we find ourselves so irresistibly drawn to the paranormal? What is it about the unknown that sparks such intense fascination, compelling us to chase shadows, listen for whispers in the dark, and scrutinize every flicker of light or movement in grainy footage? The answer lies not in the phenomena themselves but in the profound questions they raise about existence, mortality, and the boundaries of human knowledge. These real-life encounters captured on camera tap into something primal within us, a yearning to connect with the unseen, to make sense of the incomprehensible, and to confront the ultimate mystery, what lies beyond? At its core, the allure of the paranormal is rooted in our insatiable curiosity. Humans are natural explorers, driven by an innate desire to push boundaries and uncover truths hidden just out of reach. When faced with evidence, however ambiguous, that challenges the laws of physics or defies logical explanation, we instinctively lean in, hungry for answers. Is it possible that consciousness survives bodily death? Could there be dimensions overlapping our own, inhabited by beings we cannot perceive? These are not idle musings but fundamental inquiries that have shaped philosophy, religion, and science for millennia. Paranormal events captured on camera serve as tangible touchpoints for these age-old debates, transforming abstract ideas into concrete possibilities. Moreover, the supernatural offers a safe space to grapple with fear. In an increasingly predictable world governed by technology and routine, the unknown provides a thrilling escape, a chance to flirt with danger without genuine risk. Watching footage of a shadowy figure gliding through a forest or hearing disembodied voices on an EVP recording allows us to experience terror vicariously, satisfying our adrenaline cravings while knowing we can retreat to safety whenever we choose. This controlled exposure to fear explains why haunted attractions, horror films, and paranormal documentaries remain perennially popular. They give us permission to indulge in the macabre without stepping too far outside our comfort zones. Yet, perhaps the most compelling reason we obsess over the paranormal is its ability to validate our deepest hopes and fears. For every skeptic dismissing ghostly apparitions as tricks of light, there's a believer convinced that loved ones lost to death continue to watch over them. Stories like the Phantom Bride of St. Augustine or the Cursed Polaroid of Willow Creek remind us that love, pain, and regret transcend the physical realm, persisting long after bodies turn to dust. They challenge us to consider whether our actions in life ripple outward, leaving indelible marks on the universe, or if oblivion awaits us all. Either way, the possibility of connection, even with forces we cannot fully comprehend, offers solace in the face of existential uncertainty. Ultimately, the enduring fascination with the paranormal stems from its capacity to inspire wonder. It reminds us that despite centuries of scientific progress, there are still vast swaths of reality we do not understand. Each piece of footage, each chilling account, invites us to embrace the unknown rather than shy away from it. By doing so, we keep alive the spirit of inquiry that defines humanity, the relentless pursuit of truth, no matter how elusive or unsettling it may be. So, as you reflect on the stories shared in this episode, ask yourself, what do you believe? Are these merely fragments of imagination given form by circumstance? Or are they genuine glimpses into another side of existence? The beauty of the paranormal lies in its ambiguity, leaving room for interpretation and personal meaning. Whether you walk away convinced, skeptical, or somewhere in between, one thing is certain: the quest to understand the unexplained will continue to captivate hearts and minds for generations to come. Dear viewers, as we draw this inaugural episode of Real Paranormal Events Caught on Camera to a close, I hope you've felt the same mix of awe, intrigue, and unease that these extraordinary stories evoke. From the tragic echoes of the Phantom Bride to the chilling presence of the Shadow Man, each account serves as a reminder that the world is far stranger, and more wondrous, than we often allow ourselves to believe. But this is only the beginning. The veil between the seen and the unseen is thinner than you think, and your role in exploring it has just begun. If these tales have ignited a spark within you, a yearning to delve deeper into the mysteries that surround us, I urge you to take action. Grab a camera, set up a recorder, or simply open your eyes and ears to the subtle signs that may hint at something extraordinary. You don't need expensive equipment or specialized training to document the paranormal. Sometimes, all it takes is curiosity, patience, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. Who knows? The next viral piece of evidence might come from your very own neighborhood, or even your home, and when you capture that inexplicable moment, share it with us. Upload your footage, write about your experience, or join online communities dedicated to unraveling the enigmas of the supernatural. Every contribution adds to the collective understanding of these phenomena, helping to separate fact from fiction and bringing us closer to answering the questions that have haunted humanity for centuries. Together, we can shine a light into the darkest corners of the unknown. Until then, keep your lanterns lit, your minds open, and your courage steady. The unseen world is waiting, and it has stories to tell, perhaps even yours. Sweet dreams and restless nights.